came to England in 1952. Yes, it was quite easy to be sick. It all depends on your conviction. Uh, I remember we had a lot of help from the British Council, who took us on residential courses to teach us living in Britain. But when we came here, when I came to Britain, um, uh, I was lucky enough to get a place in the hostel. Normally, they would let you stay there for 2-3 months until you could find your own place. But I was lucky to have stayed in the British Council hostel called the in Hens Crescent in Knightsbridge. There I stayed for almost 2 years and studied. Not as such in the initial stages, because at that time we were living in a very protected environment. The British Council, I travelled by ship along with other people, and the British Council representative came to the port. I remember it was Tilbury, and they escorted us, brought us uh, to the hostel at Hens Crescent, and there I stayed. It, and my routine was because at Hens Crescent it was a bed, breakfast, and dinner. You had to pay for that. And my routine used to be I would get up in the morning to have my breakfast, go to the Lincoln's Inn, and study. Study from morning until 6 o'clock in the evening, and then 6 o'clock would go back, have my dinner, go to my room, and continue with my studies. So it was studies, studies, and studies. I remember it was a very bright day, good sun shines outside, and the matron came along and said, "Oh, you're here in your room. You should be out in the garden." And I couldn't understand why. It wasn't until I saw one winter then I realized the importance and benefit of sunshine. I told the matron I have got an exam to take in a month's time, so I'm studying hard for it. And that was it. Now, after a year, I was required to find my own place, which is called digs. And you go around looking at places, rooms to let, and you look at the prices. And in some places, they would have a vacancy in there, but when they would see you, knock at the door and go, "Oh, it's just been let." So it was that kind of discrimination that I faced. But that was understandable. If the landlord or the landlady didn't want me there, they didn't want me there. So I didn't let that bother me too much. And my focus of attention at that time was studies, studies, and studies.